Welcome to NICS Sports on NICS Media Hub on YouTube. As usual, my name is Mohammed Kamo, your regular host on this show, and I'm here with my guest, Abubakar Yusuf. Abubakar Yusuf is actually a businessman and a sports-loving fan who supports Liverpool day in, day out. His life is Liverpool, and we are here to give you an insight, fixtures, and discussion about the fixtures coming up in the World Cup qualifying matches over this weekend. Abubakar, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Of course, viewers, you can also call him Marco.
Yes.
Yes, he loves the name so much. You can call him Marco. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Actually, we are here to give our viewers what we think. Okay, some of the matches coming up in the World Cup qualifying. You know, instead of the fixtures in the club matches coming up this time around, we have international break where the teams or the players will participate in trying to defend their nation in the matches coming up. They really want to qualify for the World Cup. From Africa, Asia, Europe, everybody wants to just go and grace the World Cup coming up in Qatar 2022. And some of the matches, quick ones, some of the matches coming up in Europe in the World Cup qualifying. On Thursday, 11th November 2021, we have Azerbaijan hosting Luxembourg at 5 p.m. Then we have Georgia hosting Sweden at 5 p.m. Then we have Russia coming up against Cyprus at 5 p.m. Then we have Armenia coming up against North Macedonia at 5 p.m. Then we have Ireland coming up against Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal, the free scorer Ronaldo's Portugal. Then we have Greece coming up against the possessive base Spain at 7:45 p.m. Then we have Malta coming up against Croatia at 7:45 p.m. Then we have Slovakia coming up against Slovenia. Slovenia. It will be an interesting match to watch at 7:45 p.m. Then we have Germany, the German machines, the guys coming up against Liechtenstein at 7:45 p.m. Then we have Romania coming up against Iceland. Marco, Abubakar, let's take a look at these fixtures coming up in Europe World Cup qualifying. Let me see your opinions in some of these matches.
Okay, let me greet our viewers. You see, before I do a pick,
okay,
we need to refresh our mind as far as World Cup is concerned. History is very, very important.
Yes.
Yes, and FIFA World Cup is one of the prestigious soccer competition in the world, organized by FIFA. And the first country to host World Cup is Uruguay. They hosted it in 1930, and they won it. And it was amazing to see Uruguay hosting the World Cup in 1930, and they won it. So it was actually a host and win affair. Okay. So when they won it, Italy said, okay, if you people can host it and win it, then we also can host it. So in 1934-38, they hosted it and they won it. Italy. Wow. So it was something that actually brought a lot of excitement to viewers, to football-loving people. So France said, okay, if you people can host and win, why not? We will also host and win. So in 1938, France hosted it, and guess what happened? Italy went there and they won it.
So France
couldn't continue. No, they couldn't win it. So I mean, that is how the history will tell us. So let me history is very important.
So let me ask. So France is the first nation to host a World Cup without winning it?
No, they are not the first nation to host it and not win it. But when we look at it from the beginning,
okay,
Uruguay hosted it 1930. They won it. 1934, Italy did it. They won it, and they said, okay, we will host it. And when they hosted it, they couldn't win it. Italy went there and won it.
Okay.
So in 1950, Brazil hosted it, and Uruguay went there, and they also won it. So twice. Okay. That is the history. History will always bring those excitement. It will bring something for the football-loving people to enjoy, because there are a lot of people who are following the game today. They must be refreshed with history, because history is important in football. Okay. Then 1966, our England, they hosted it and won it.
Wow.
So it's amazing. They hosted it and won it.
I think ever since they've not won a World Cup again.
Ever since, they've never won it. But there's something we must not forget to bring as far as we decide to bring to our viewers the history of World Cup. The African people. Okay. The first African country to win to go to the World Cup is Egypt. Wow. Oh. That was 1934. Okay. Egypt went there, and then they made a history. There's so much about Egypt that brings excitement because they are the first country to go to the World Cup, even though they lost to Hungary by 4-2, but they made a history because the first African player to score at the World Cup is an Egyptian, and his name is Abdurrahman Fawzi.
Wow.
He did not only score just a goal, but he scored 2 goals.
2 goals.
2 goals. Then came Zaire. Okay. I'm mentioning Zaire because Zaire also brings some excitement. In 1974, okay, Zaire qualified to the World Cup ahead of Ghana, Senegal, Nigeria,
Cote
d'Ivoire, all
Nigeria,
these big countries. Yeah. Zaire, but there's something about Zaire. Zaire made a history of qualifying to the World Cup in 1974. They also made a history.
Okay. They
went there without scoring a single goal.
Okay, that's amazing.
Amazing. And as when you thought Zaire is done, they've given you history. Then they brings to you another history. The first African player to receive a red card in the World Cup comes from Zaire. And his name is Mulumba Ndaye.
Mulumba Ndaye.
Mulumba Ndaye. You see, so
this is bad record.
Yes, this is history of World Cup, and people who comes to subscribe to our YouTube must have the feel of history of World Cup, because the qualification is something every player will kill to play. Every player will kill to play World Cup because it brings them pride.
Okay.
You understand?
All right, so quickly, we have some of the matches coming up. We have Portugal coming up against Ireland. Then we have Greece coming up against Spain. Let me see your pick.
Okay, I will go for Portugal, Ireland.
Yeah, Portugal.
Yeah, and their group, amazingly, Serbia is on top ahead of Portugal. They sit there with 17 points. Portugal comes with 13 points, and Ireland somewhere around 6 points. And then even though Portugal and Serbia have already qualified mathematically, okay, but Ireland will also want to make a mark. They've accepted that they have relatively young squad that they are playing for small teams now, Portsmouth, Newcastle, and co. But if you look at Portugal, Portugal comes with a big top squad. You know, Cristiano Ronaldo with huge experience. Pepe comes in with huge experience. Then there's an emerging force that also coming. Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United.
Yes.
Diego Jota of Liverpool. You see, these are the.
You forgot to mention Bernardo Silva.
You see, Bernardo Silva he's also great. Yeah. You know, so I think Portugal is going to pick a win. Is going to pick a win because Portugal want to pick a win and hope that Serbian will drop a point so that they take over the top.
Okay, then we have Greece coming up against Spain.
Yes, that is also a cracker. Yes. You know, Spain is a...
No, they are doing rebuilding.
Yeah, they are doing rebuilding, but they are World Cup winners. You know, they won it 2010 in South Africa.
Yes, sure.
That is where Ghana did well, by the light of Suarez actually denied us for going to the quarterfinals. And then it was a heartbreak that night when Asamoah Gyan has to balloon the ball into the stands.
I think this is something Ghanaians don't want to even remember.
Even Asamoah Gyan himself don't want
to remember.
Yes, but history will always bring these things to us. So, I was talking about
Spain and Greece, yes.
Spain, yes. So Spain will always want to try because they have David Gea, who is an experienced goalkeeper, and then he's the safest hand. Even though Manchester is relatively struggling, but trust me, they have the players, you know, and Spain will try as much as possible to pick a point. So I will go in for 2-0 win in favor of Spain.
Okay, quick one. Though this is not a match for Germany, but
Yeah.
they are coming up against Liechtenstein.
Yes, you know Germany.
Yeah, you just not a match.
Yeah, it's
now
just
let's
not a
focus our
match,
attention
so-
on Africa, our home
Yes.
soil.
Yes.
Some of the matches coming up in Africa soil on the World Cup qualifier. We have Uganda coming up against Kenya at 1 p.m. Then we have Ethiopia coming up against Ghana. Tough match for Ghana over there at 1 p.m. Then we have Tanzania coming up against Congo DR. Then we have Rwanda coming up against Mali. Then we have Benin coming up against Madagascar. Then we have South Africa coming up against Zimbabwe. This match, Ghanaians will always have interest in this match. Then we have Togo coming up against Senegal at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Abubakar.
Okay. My interest will be of that of Ghana and Ethiopia.
Yes.
I know.
Then we have South Africa coming up against Zimbabwe.
Yes,
We are
yes,
the same
yes.
group.
Yeah, the same group, and it's a group that somehow you would think Ghana and South Africa have already qualified, but if they don't play with caution and decide to lose points, those teams can come back. But I believe that South Africa and Ghana are already ahead, and we have new players coming in. Jan, who just moved to AS Roma.
Yeah.
He's 18 years. And
Jan.
yes, and the coach has called him to come and help us, and I think he will also come there and see how he will do. And you know, we have these players, Wakaso.
Yeah, who is back from injury?
He's back from injury.
Yes.
Wakaso is in the team because of his robustness.
Yes.
You know, he's that kind of player who will give you stability in the middle.
Okay.
Even though he's not playing at his peak at the moment, but the coach have trust in him that when he comes, he will be able to stabilize the midfield for us. Jordan Ayew is not in his form, and he's struggling at Crystal Palace.
Yes.
His brother Ayew is also struggling, but Ayew guarantees you a goal.
Let me give you this.
Yeah.
You know, Dede Ayew plays for Al Sadd,
Yeah.
former Xavi team.
Yeah.
And you know, he has scored 7 goals in 10 matches
Yes.
currently. So
Yes.
it means Dede Ayew is doing very well.
Yeah, he's doing very well at the club side, and you know, it's a lower league, so even when you are doing well, people don't see it to be a league with a pedigree.
Okay.
You see, he's our captain. We expect our captain to be in either Premiership or Bundesliga or Spanish La Liga. But he's there. He's doing well. He comes to national team. You don't find him, but somehow, if you leave him there, he will give you a goal. So he's still an asset to us. So we should allow him to enjoy his game, and we know he's still an asset to us. Trust me, he will deliver. And Thomas Partey, I think, is not coming because of injury issues. Arsenal said that they believe he's not fit to play, but our doctors have called him to also come so that they also examine him.
Okay.
I think this banter will not help. They should accept the feedback from Arsenal, because Arsenal is a professional team that I think will not do us harm, especially when they know that Partey has given them stability coming from injury. Now Arsenal is doing well, picking points, you see. So I think it's going to be a cracker. Ghana will want to win so that in case South Africa drops a point, we'll be able to sit at the top.
Yes.
So it's going to be a cracker, and I think Ghana will pick a win.
So as Ghana is picking a win, South Africa are also playing Zimbabwe. Are they
Yes.
also picking a point?
Yeah,
Are they winning? They are playing at home.
It's going to be a game because Zimbabwe has only 1 point.
Yeah.
They have nothing to lose, but out of pride, they want to play and finish hard. So I will urge Zimbabwe to play strong and make sure that they don't lose. They don't lose that much, because I am hoping that South Africa will drop a point. Wow. Because of nationality.
Is it because you're a Ghanaian?
Yeah, I'm a Ghanaian. You know, I want us to be at the Qatar. Qatar is a beautiful country. I would love to be there. I know you want to be there, and then our team will love to be there. So
yes,
we are hoping to qualify, and then to not just qualify, but at the top, so that we can go and see what happens at the quarter.
Okay, Ghanaian viewers who are watching this show, actually Ghana really needs your prayers.
Yeah.
Can we pray for Ghana to actually win this match coming up against Ethiopia and hoping to beat South Africa in Ghana the following week, and so we can progress to the World Cup, so the other qualifying matches in the next round of the competition. Then let's take a look at some of the matches coming up on Friday.
Yeah.
This one we start with South America. They also have their World Cup qualifying coming up. We have Brazil coming up against Colombia at 12:30 a.m. as we are asleep. Brazil are playing Colombia. Then we have Peru coming up against Bolivia at 2 a.m. Then we have Uruguay coming up against Argentina at 11 p.m. And viewers, the news is that Lionel Messi, who joined PSG, they look like he's not dedicated to the club. Whenever he's called to play for his nation or for his club, he actually fake injuries. We don't know whether it's fake injuries or something like that. But when he's called up for Argentina matches, he actually rushed to play for them. And this match is actually featured in Argentina match. And then meanwhile, there was a match PSG played which Lionel Messi did not feature. He faked injury. He said he's injured. He can't play for PSG. So the viewers, let's see your comments coming up in this comment section box. Then Argentina, Lionel Messi is still really dedicated to his club PSG as he joined them at the summer as a free agent. Let's see your comments at the section box. Then let's take a look at some of the matches also coming up. Before we go there, Abubakar, let's take a look at the South American matches. We have Brazil, Colombia. We have Peru, Bolivia, and then Uruguay, Argentina. Lionel Messi is fixing this match, and he's featuring, and he's saying he's injured, but
yes,
he's featuring this match.
Yes, I will pick Brazil, Colombia.
Okay, Brazil, Colombia.
Brazil, Colombia, those days is used to be a cracker of a match to watch.
Okay.
Do you know why? Because those days, the light of Vandarama, you know, will give you all the excitement and then everything in football. And Escobar, you know, they have history.
Escobar, yes.
Yeah, they have history. Vandarama, Escobar, and the rest, they have history. Colombia, but currently Colombia is not doing well. Currently they are not doing well. I don't know why, and I think the demise of Escobar, the reason for his demise, actually brought or downplay or the spirit of the players, and people were not that excited again to play for Colombia. But those days, the excitement to play for Colombia was there, and then they will give you the results, everything. But now the team is not doing well. They are not doing better, and I think it has to do with the history I've just given. But I know for sure Brazil, they've been up and down, you know, but Brazil, when it comes to the history of World Cup, Brazil has won it 5 times.
Yes, sir.
No country comes closer to Brazil. Even in the history of World Cup, only 8 countries have won it. You know, the likes of Uruguay, Spain, Argentina, Brazil, Italy,
France,
West Germany,
France,
then
England.
France and England.
Yes.
Only 8 countries have won this thing, but when you compare who has won it more, is Brazil. And there's something our viewers too must know, that since World Cup started in 1930, Brazil has never ever failed to qualify.
Wow.
They are always there. I mean, these are some of the things our viewers must know, that Brazil have never ever failed to qualify for World Cup. They always qualify, and they have the players, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
The Samba boys.
Yeah, the Neymar, and then Firmino,
the
Coutinho, Fabinho,
Gabriel Jesus.
Yes, they have this current crop of players who are doing well. So we are hoping that if they've qualified already, so we are hoping that maybe when they come to World Cup, they'll be able to replicate it.
Okay, then we have Uruguay coming up against Argentina.
Uruguay, Argentina is a cracker. Yes. Both of them are World Cup winners. They've won it twice. Argentina have won it twice. Yes, Uruguay too have won it twice. And I just made you realize that they were the first country to host it. And Uruguay, they have the pedigree. If all things being equal, they have the pedigree to win the World Cup again. You know, so Argentina, Uruguay is going to be a dicey game, and it's a game people must watch it will bring all the excitement. There's something you spoke about Lionel Messi faking injury, or that we are not able to substantiate whether he is really faking or is genuine. But whatever it is, I think PSG will have a way of managing it, and he's a great player.
Okay.
You know, he has won the best player, FIFA best player, more than any player in the history of football.
Yes.
So he's our God, mini God, you know. So let's hope, yes. So I think it's going to be a cracker, and I'm going to give Argentina a slight victory.
Over Uruguay. Okay. Then some of the World Cup qualifying matches continue in Europe, where we have Moldova coming up against Scotland. Then we have Italy coming up against Switzerland. Then we have Northern Ireland coming up against Lithuania. Then we have Austria coming up against Israel. Then we have Denmark coming up against Faroe Islands. Then we have Andorra versus Poland. Then we have England, your England, coming up against Albania. Then we have Hungary coming up against San Marino, all at 7:45 p.m.
Yeah.
Let me see your pick. We have England coming up, your England coming up against Albania. Then we have Italy, Switzerland, and then Northern Ireland coming up against Lithuania.
I will pick England's match.
Okay.
Because of Premiership. You know, we all enjoy Premiership, and sometimes when England is into any competition, by default, we love them
to progress to the next stage.
We love them to win. Somehow, since 1966, England is yet to win a trophy.
Wow.
Isn't
Either a World Cup, European Cup.
England is yet to win a trophy, and it's something that is hunting them. They just want to win something. The far they come is the semi-finals. Wow. You know, in any competition. The latest one was the Europe, where we thought that this is a host and win and affair, and they did great. But somehow Italy took it away from them. You know, these guys are the penalty shootout. So I don't know. They are doing well, but it's just an element of luck that is needed, because it looks like England is angry enough. The world is looking forward to see England lift its second trophy, whether Europe or World Cup. So England, I think we will pray for them. It's our team. We love them, even though if you are to ask me, my national team, apart from Ghana, it used to be Brazil and Holland. Okay. Europe is Holland, and South America is Brazil. Then Ghana, of course, Africa, my country. Yes, but when England is playing, I'm always emotionally, I'm attached to them. I'm driven towards them because of Premiership. Okay. So I think they are going to win, of course, against Albania. They are going to win. They have all the players. Their coach is doing great. Gary Southgate is doing great, and I think they should give him time to make sure that this crop of England players will be able to guarantee them a trophy. Okay.
Now let's continue our fixtures coming up in the World Cup qualifying in Africa, where we have Burkina Faso coming up against Niger at 1 p.m. Then we have Djibouti coming up against Algeria, an informed Algeria at 1 p.m. Then we have Gabon coming up against Libya at 4 p.m. Then we have Guinea coming up against Guinea-Bissau at 4 p.m. Then we have Angola coming up, Egypt. Yeah. Angola is playing Egypt at 7 p.m. Then we have Sudan coming up against Morocco.
Yeah. I will go for Egypt and Angola, and there's a reason. You know, Mo Salah, the Egyptian king. I mean, Mo Salah is one of the greatest players produced on the African continent. He's not only doing that in African continent, but he's actually projecting Africa to the world. Okay. You know, he's doing great. He has won the Champions League for Liverpool, and then won the African Cup for Egypt, and he will want to replicate this in the World Cup, because he has seen it all in Europe, he has seen it all in Africa. What is left now is World Cup. And I told you that World Cup is the prestigious competition, soccer competition in the world, and every player will want to win it, and every player will want to play, because there's so much there's so much chain, value chain, when you play for at the World Cup.
Yes.
You see the value of the players increases when they play well. The typical example is Sule Muntari when he was with Portsmouth and Portsmouth was relegated, when everybody thought that, oh, Sule Muntari is done. He's finished. Then he was called for the World Cup. He went to the World Cup. He did very well. And Mourinho said, Sule Muntari, come to Inter Milan.
Yeah.
When he went to Inter Milan, and now Sule Muntari is one of the African players who have won Champions League.
Yeah.
You know, so that is what World Cups gives to you as a player. It's add value to you. So every single player will want to play for the World Cup. So I see Egypt and Angola to be a dicey game because Angola is doing great, but Mo Salah will always expose this Angolians and he's going to slot in some goals, and I think Egypt is going to pick and win, and I'll go in 3-0 Egypt.
Okay. Before we continue our features coming up in the World Cup qualifying, then let's take a look at the sponsorship for this program. We have R2A2 Company Limited. Then we have NICS IT and Business Solutions Limited. Stay tuned. You get to know more about these two sponsors of this program. Then Saturday's features coming up. We have Bosnia coming up against Finland at 2 p.m. Then we have Norway coming up against Latvia at 5 p.m. Then we have Turkey coming up against Gibraltar at 5 p.m. Then we have France coming up against Kazakhstan at 7:45 p.m. Then we have Belgium coming up against Estonia at 7:45 p.m. Then we have Wales coming up against Belarus at 7:45 p.m. Then Montenegro coming up against Netherlands at 7:45 p.m. Your pick, Abubakar.
Okay, I will pick France. Is it Kazakhstan?
Yeah, France is coming up against Kazakhstan.
Yes, I mean, France have it all.
And the news is that
Yes.
Paul Pogba has been ruled out in this encounter.
Yes,
He's
yes.
had a muscular injury.
Yeah,
so
yeah, because of injury, Pogba is out of the game. But you know, France, they have a pedigree. They are the World Cup winners.
Yes, sure.
That was 2018
Yes.
in Russia, and they actually gave us a good game. You know, I remember I watched that match in China, and that was around 1 p.m. and it was
China time.
China time, and I have to watch because it was something I could not miss it. You know. And it was a great game. So France, of course, they have the pedigree. They have all the players, Karim Benzema, you know. Even though Pogba is not playing, but they still have Antoine Griezmann and all those great
N'Golo Kante.
Yeah, N'Golo
So
Kante.
Veretout has been called to replace Pogba in the national team.
Yes. So they still have all the players to be able to make sure that France doesn't lose or drop a point, you know.
Okay.
So it's a mismatch. To me, it's a mismatch. France is going to win.
Okay.
3-0.
Then let's take a look at your national team.
Yeah.
Netherlands coming up against Montenegro.
Allah, I love Netherlands. There's something about Netherlands, their way of playing. They play possessive football, and then they always press you, and then they have the quality. You see, Netherlands, somehow they are not able to win World Cup. It beats people imagination.
Yeah, sure.
The last time Netherlands went to the final, that was 2010.
Yes.
At the South Africa,
Africa,
went Africans hosted it, and then they went to the finals with Spain, and Spain won it.
Yeah, by goal to nothing.
Yes, it was heartbreak, but
Goal from Iniesta.
yes. So Netherlands are itching to win something, especially World Cup with all these great players they have, and I think Netherlands is going to win this match, and I'll give them 2-0.
Okay. Now let's wrap up on the World Cup qualifying matches coming up on Africa soil, where we have Zambia coming up against Mauritania at 1 p.m. Then we have Malawi coming up against Cameroon at 1 p.m. Then we have Equatorial Guinea coming up against Tunisia at 4 p.m. Then we have Cape Verde coming up against Central African Republic, who beat Nigeria previously by a goal to nothing. They are coming up against Cape Verde at 4 p.m. Then we have Liberia coming up against Nigeria at 4 p.m. Then we have Cote d'Ivoire coming up against Mozambique at 7 p.m. Abubakar.
Yes, so I will go in. I will pick Cameroon, Malawi, and my reason is that Cameroon comes with a huge, rich history as far as African football is concerned.
Okay.
Yeah, they've dominated Africa for so long. They've dominated Africa for so many years, and then they replicated it in a World Cup 1990 when Roger Milla went there and did all the magic.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
They played against Argentina, and then they won by one goal. And then the history behind this game is that they were down by 9 players, and they still won that game in the World Cup. And this is something intriguing. It's amazing that people must know. So Cameroon has done it well, has done it all. When we won it, when we were leading by 4, Cameroon were somewhere around 1 trophy, and now 4-4. It's amazing, right? So they've shown their class.
I think Ghanaians are sleeping.
Yes, yeah, Ghanaians are sleeping. Cameroon have
up.
defined football again, and they are playing, they are enjoying their game. And Malawi, they have a crop of young players who are doing great in their respective African clubs, and few players in Europe. And I think it's going to be a dicey game, but trust Cameroon that they will be able to do justice to this match. So I will go 2-0 in favor of Cameroon.
Okay. Viewers, thank you very much. This program is actually brought to you by NICS IT Limited, services of NICS IT. Then we have mobile app development. Actually, mobile app development is so good to expand and give your business a brighter future. Then we have website development. Your business needs a website actually. Just call NICS IT. Just get a website for your business. It will help you a lot. Then we have graphic design. Those of you who would like to have a complimentary card, we have a flyer, we have stickers. Just link up to NICS IT Limited for a better option. Then we have photography and videography. Those of you who like to have photo shoots, events for any program. Then we have video coverage event for any program, your weddings, your funerals, your weddings, all kinds of video coverage events. I'll link up to NICS IT Limited. Then we have digital marketing. The survival of your business actually depends on how well you market your business, you know. And you know, internet is so big that it can contain all kind of businesses that you do online. A lot of people are online trying to know kind of businesses that are happening online. Just link up to NICS IT Limited. We take your business on top of the internet. Then we have enterprise blockchain services. Just call NICS IT and Business Solutions Limited on 0506-211-264. They are located in Kumasi Airport Runabout near Glory Oil Filling Station. If you call the number, you get to know more about NICS IT Limited. Then we have R2A2 Global Import Limited, one of the great companies that we can have in Ashanti region. Their services include air and ocean cargo services. Then they have door-to-door courier services. Then they have clearance of goods. Those of you who go to abroad, like China, like Dubai, like England, any other country outside Ghana, to shop, to bring your goods at the port, just call R2A2 Global Import Limited, and your goods will be cleared for you. Then they have housing, sourcing of products, services, then drop shipping services. Then they have import and export training services. R2A2 Global Import Services says that they are not satisfied unless you are. So why not you contact R2A2 Import Limited for all these services. They are located in Kumasi, Sawaba last stop. Call them on 0559-427685. And you'll be sorted out as perfect as you wish for yourself. Thank you very much for making time for this program. See you next time.